Swahili Kingdom. If you are new in this channel, welcome, 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 welcome. Just a bit of introduction. My name is Connie. I speak 6 languages, of course, at different levels. My native language is Swahili, and I learned English because I'm in Kenya. And then the 4 languages, which are Spanish, Tagalog, Italian and French, are on different levels, but I speak those languages. I have taught myself, and I've taught myself at home. I've never gone to those countries yet. Yes, so I can speak those languages, and I have never gone to those countries. I have taught myself here at home. I have not had a tutor yet as well. And you can follow me on TikTok, Swahili Kingdom, to see me speaking in Spanish and Tagalog. Okay, because I upload 2 videos per week on TikTok to show you my progress in those languages and to help you here on YouTube on tips or methods to learn faster. Thank you for listening to that introduction. And today we are going to learn about how to build your confidence to start speaking to natives. Recently, I just got someone to speak with or to speak to in Spanish, a native Spanish speaker from Spain, but right these days or right now she's living here in Kenya. And when I spoke to her the first time, I realized I need to work on my Spanish. Even though I could speak with her, of course, but I realized I need to work in my Spanish, and I'm going to share with you the method that I am using to work on my Spanish every day, so that when we meet next time, I make sure that I have at least improved in my Spanish and getting to the way she's speaking, to the native level, the facial expressions, the everything, yeah, those things. So today, that's what I'm going to teach you. That's what I'm going to help you with. How to build confidence to start speaking to natives, or to start speaking to maybe if you are learning Swahili, to a Swahili speaker. If you are learning English, to an English speaker. Spanish, to a Spanish speaker, and to speak confidently. Because I'm aware that when you speak to a native person, there is that anxiety that comes. I'll give you my example. An example is the first time that I was speaking to that lady. It was 2 weeks ago. The first time that I spoke to her, like I had anxiety, or I had fear. I didn't notice anything that was around me. I just noticed that person, and I was really concentrated. But she told me my Spanish was good, and I knew next time I need to improve. Okay, so I'm going to teach you that, or the whole of that process. I use something called language islands. Language islands, which is very important. So let's go through the steps that I'm going to show you today. The first step, I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to explain to you, what is a language island. What is a language island? The second step, I will tell you the objectives of a language island. Why should you use a language island? Okay, the objective. And number 3, I'm going to show you how to form your own language island. Okay, forming your own language island. Okay, and the fourth steps, I'm going to give you 10 topics that can help you to start your own journey in language islands. Okay, to start your own journey in language islands. And let's start. What is a language island? A language island is basically one or more short paragraphs that you have written down about some specific subject in the language, in the target language. So it is one or more small short paragraphs that you have written about a certain thing in your target language. Okay, I've said a certain thing because an island means, for example, you are taking one topic in the whole, the whole language. Let's say, for example, you want to talk about introducing yourself. So that is an island. You are plucking that topic, you write about that topic, and then you do a video about that topic. That is an island that you have plucked, that you are going to practice. That is what is called a language island. Objectives of a language island. Why do we use language islands? We use language islands to help us get the details of certain things that we want to know, or to help us, for example, get the accent, get the confidence. Okay, for example, if you do a language island in introducing yourself, when someone comes and asks you in your target language, let's say English, on how to introduce yourself, your anxiety will be low. It will be a bit low because you are confident, you know how to introduce yourself in that language. So that is one of the objectives of the language islands. Okay, now I'm going to show you the process of forming a language island. I'm going to show you the process that I usually use and the process that has been successful with me forming language islands. Okay, the first thing is that I identify a topic. I identify a topic, and this one will depend with your level. For example, if you are a beginner, start with the topic of introducing yourself. If you are an advanced, you can get a topic of maybe the, how are they called? For example, in my Spanish, since I'm getting at that advanced level, now my topic was, for example, if someone asks me, if you are a car, what will you be? If you are a car, what will you be? So that is an example. It gets complex as you go. But if you are a beginner, start with introducing yourself. Certain basic topics that someone can ask you about them. So when someone ambushes you, you know what to talk about. So I start by choosing a topic. Then step number 2, I go to the internet, I search like the common verbs that are used in that topic. But of course, if you have been learning that language for a while, for example, if you have been learning that language for a year and now you want to start language islands, you're going to know some basic things that are used. Of course, for example, again in English, you are going to know some certain verbs, for example, to be, to have, saying I am called, blah, blah, blah. Those things, and then you can go maybe on ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an AI, and then ask ChatGPT which are the common verbs that are used in introducing yourself in English, or if you're learning Swahili, you say in Swahili, right? Of course, ChatGPT is not going to give you like the exact things that are used. Sometimes the internet is outdated with the things that are happening in the real world. If you have a friend, you can ask them. If you have a tutor, you can ask them as well, which will be something great. If you have someone you can ask directly apart from ChatGPT. But if you don't have, of course, go to ChatGPT or the Google and ask it. Okay. And the other thing that I used to form, after checking on that, you go on writing. Now you write a paragraph about introducing yourself. When someone tells you to introduce yourself, what should be there? Your name. Example in Swahili, mimi ni. So you should know that. Your name, where you come from, what you like doing, or just those basic things of introducing yourself. You write them down. Then the other steps, the other step is now memorizing what you have written. Since what you have written is not in your language, your native language, it is in your target language. Meaning you don't know everything that is there. A tip before you start doing language islands, it is important for you to learn the language for at least 1 year and then start doing language islands. But I wouldn't say that you cannot start as you start the language. Okay, you can start if you want, but it is very good when you start after 1 year, because you will have a whole amount of vocabulary and some background in the language. So it will depend with you on when you want to start. Okay, so you're going to memorize what you have written. After memorizing, you are going to take your phone or your camera or whatever and record yourself speaking. But while you are recording, make sure you have the book that you have used to write. It is important to write on a book, but you can write on you can write on Word if you want. Okay, using your computer or whatever, you can write on Word. But it is very, very important to write with your hand, because they say what your hand writes, your mind remembers. Okay, so when you use your hand to write, your mind is going to remember. It will be easier for you to memorize, and it will be easier for you to speak, to say those words out. Yeah. After memorizing, as I said, you record yourself speaking. Make sure you have the book that you have used to write the paragraph, so that in case you miss something, or you feel like your brain is missing something, just go back, check, and then come back, check and come back. And as you continue making language islands, you are going to stop looking at the book. Just train yourself. Next time I'm going to look, I'm not going to look so much. The other time I'm not going to look so much. Yeah, like that. And as you go, you let go of the book, and now you depend on your mind. So that is how you form language islands. And when you go to speak to someone, you will have confidence. I've done this before. I can answer these questions. Okay? That is exactly how you form language islands. And right now, I'm going to give you 10 topics that you can use to start forming a language island on your own. Of course, the first topic is introducing yourself. It is very crucial for you to know how to introduce yourself in your target language. Because when someone asks you about you, what are you going to say? It is very nice if you know how to introduce yourself. That is the first one, introduce yourself. Number 2, introduce your family. Introduce your family. And by the way, don't shy away from making these videos. Just be natural, because keep those videos privately. Don't share if you don't want to share. Just keep them private. Okay? So number 2 is introducing your family. Say everything about your family, what you know. If you have if you want to talk about your lineage, where you have come from, blah blah blah. Talk about everything. Just be comfortable and talk about everything, because you acquire more when you are comfortable and you enjoy what you are doing. Okay? When you are anxious, you don't get anything. Number 3, talk about your job if you are working. Your job, or what you do for a living. Yes, something like that. Because definitely someone is going to ask you about that when you say that you are fluent in that language and you want to talk about it. Those are the important things that people will want to know. Number 4, talk about your hobby or your hobbies if you have many. And then we have number 5, talk about something you'll never forget in your life. For example, if someone asks you to tell them about something that you can never forget in your life, what can you tell them? Okay, that will help you to talk about emotions in that language. Like talk about emotions, talk about things that can make someone laugh, the humor, okay, in the language. And then number 6, talk about your best friend in life, or talk about a relationship that you have had in your life. Number 7, talk about a day in your life, your routine. That's something important to know. Number 8, talk about your recent travel, or the recent thing that you have done that you like. What was it? How did it feel? Will you do it again? Something like that. And then number 9, talk about your first trip outside the country. Your first trip outside the country. If you have never gone outside the country, just talk about it in the video. I've never gone, but I would like to go here, blah, blah, blah. And then lastly, talk about your dream vacation. If someone will come to you and tell you, where would you like to go if you were to travel today, or if you were to one day travel, where is your dream destination? Where is your dream vacation? What would you say? Okay, so those are the topics, 10 topics that you can start with making your language islands. Make sure you follow me on TikTok to see the language islands that I am forming in both Spanish and Tagalog. I do language islands every day. but I post twice a week because there are some topics that are quite personal that I don't post. I keep for myself. So if a topic is quite sensitive for you, we are different kinds of people. So if a topic is quite sensitive for you, don't share it on social media, just put it private. And that is the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, follow me on TikTok. Don't forget for you to see how I'm doing my language islands. Follow me on Instagram to see how I'm going and see some words in Swahili, some motivation. Okay? And if you really want to know how to start speaking after language islands, how do you carry yourself, how do you keep yourself with the other person that you want to talk to in your target language, how do you communicate with that person? If you want to know more about that, go watch this video that will be recommended on the screen called Be Delusional. It is going to help you a whole lot. Thank you so much again. If you like this video, you can buy me a coffee as well. The link is in the description box below, and we will see each other in the next video. Bye.